dangers that you need to watch out for when traveling to Kenya. Now, this could be for Nairobi, this could be for Mombasa, this could be for Nakuru, this could be for Eldoret. This is basically just the entire country of Kenya. Especially when you're coming from either America, Canada, Europe somewhere. You know what I'm saying? These are just things that you may not, you know what I'm saying, be accustomed to specifically in your home country. So the first danger that you need to avoid, we have the petty crimes. The petty crimes out here, they run so rapid, and even Kenyan people will tell you, watch your phone. Like if you're in an Uber or something, roll your window up, because people will literally reach inside of the car and just snatch your phone and run away, and you will have no way of, you know what I'm saying, getting your phone back. Actually, there has been a few Americans that have told me personally that they've gotten their phones snatched out here in Kenya. So hey, it definitely does happen. So definitely be on the lookout for that, because that is a danger. And also when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, petty thefts, you also have the other side where it's, you know, actual crimes that go on. You know, some people get stuck up with knives, some people, you know, guns, you know, all of this type of stuff is out here in Kenya. Now the Kenyan people, now don't come for me, right? You guys are amazing. I love Kenya. I would not be out here this long if I didn't love Kenya, right? But I will also be doing a disservice if I didn't keep it real, because even Kenyans tell me that they've been robbed before in the past by other Kenyans, or they've been, you know, it's been people that's been shot by other Kenyans, killed by other Kenyans. You know, and it's not that I'm trying to deter anybody from coming out here. It's just me giving my true opinion and thoughts on the dangers, because it's dangerous everywhere in the world. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just telling you from my experience what I've seen out here in my travels. All right, so moving on to number 2 is scams. So scams are running rapid. Like you got land scams, you know, people coming out to the continent thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to get this land, I'm going to have this farm, I'm going to do all of this, and that. I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, invest in properties, or like all this type of stuff. It's a lot of scams when it comes to real estate, land ownership, all of that type of stuff. So what I would advise is getting a reputable lawyer, and also doing your due diligence on, you know what I'm saying, if you need some type of paperwork done, or some type of registries done, or, you know, taxes, all that type of stuff, land tax, all that type of stuff. Make sure you look into this stuff before you just, you know what I'm saying, give your money just freely to some random person just telling you, oh, I got this land, and give you these fake documents, and, you know, all of this type of stuff, because it definitely does happen, and it happens very often out here in Kenya. And also another tip when it comes to buying land or buying a property out here in Kenya, make sure you buy it in the rainy season, because if you buy it, say when it's dry or something, and it decides to rain, and you just don't know if the place could get flooded easily, you don't know if the water system is good for drainage, you know, it's a lot of these things that you have to take into account before just going out and buying properties or buying land, and, you know, all of this type of stuff. So definitely do your due diligence and your research before you decide to invest into Kenya. So moving on to the third danger when it comes to coming out here to Kenya as a either passport bro, or a passport gentleman, or just a regular traveler, you know what I'm saying, that's not familiar with the country, right? So you have to be aware of the women. Now, when I say be aware of the women, I'm talking about the women, you know, of the night, the ones that you think may be like regular girls, but are actually working girls, and, you know, they might rob you, they might, you know what I'm saying, take your life, or might be in cahoots with somebody that end up taking your life. You know, these things aren't just based in other places. It can also be based here in Kenya. It could be based in America. Like, we all hear the stories of people in Miami. Oh, it was this rich guy. He met these girls at the club, and he took them back home. And, you know, they robbed him. They drugged him and got all his jewelry and all his money and all this stuff. Like, this stuff is also possible out here, but it's not as common. I will admit that. It's not as common as it is in America, because America is like the wild, wild west, and it happens all the time out there. But here, you don't really too much hear stories about it, but I'm just giving you guys, you know, forewarning just in case, because it is possible. That's how I'm gonna put it. It's definitely possible to get drugged, robbed, finessed, tricked by the women out here. So definitely be very vigilant of that. But I will say that's, you know, far and few in between, because the women out here are absolutely stunning, absolutely, you know what I'm saying, traditional, cool, calm, collected, all that stuff. But you do have those few that will, you know what I'm saying, get you. You get what I'm saying? Because you can get got. You definitely can get got out here. All right. Hold up. We're gonna get right back into the video. But before we do, make sure you guys check out the Patreon. So on the Patreon, you get early access to videos, you get member shout outs, you get group chat access. There's a lot of perks to becoming a member of my Patreon. And also, we have a beginning tier. The beginning tier starts at $5. And we also have the diamond tier. And the diamond tier, you get so many perks, man, it's ridiculous. So definitely check out the Patreon. And also, as some of you may know, I actually do a lot of these travel videos and a lot of the content that I make off my own budget. So if you guys want to donate to the channel, you can do so. Cash App and PayPal is accepted. So yeah, man, without further ado, let's get back into the video that you came to see. So moving on to number 4, we have the danger of walking at night in certain areas. Now, I would be wrong if I told you that walking in Westlands or Kilauea or Kilimani at like 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, you know what I'm saying, would be bad, because I've done it before and, you know, I've never had any issues, right? But there is certain places here in Nairobi, Kenya specifically, where you do not want to be walking after, you know what I'm saying, the sun goes down. Because like I said in number 2, it's definitely easy to get, you know what I'm saying, robbed or even kidnapped, you know what I'm saying? And kidnapping out here, it happens, right? Just for instance, there was this this European traveler, and he recently got kidnapped actually out here, and they end up finding his body. And yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, just, you know, you just never know. But his situation was kind of different. I believe it was something where he went into a car and, you know, they just kind of like took him somewhere to the outskirts and, you know, tried to extort him, all that type of stuff, right? So it's definitely possible to happen. So I would just say, just stay calm, you know what I'm saying? If something seems a little fishy, then, you know, you should go about your move and just get out of Dodge, right? So yeah, that'll definitely be something that you should not do out here in Kenya, and that's walking at night in certain areas. Certain areas. I'm gonna preface that again because I know the Kenyan people gonna be like, our country is safe, our country. I know, Kenya is safe. Kenya is safer than America, in my opinion. But you do have those outliers where it definitely is possible to, you know what I'm saying, either get kidnapped, robbed, killed, stabbed, whatever it is, you know. So moving on to number 5, we have addiction. So you probably like, addiction, what do you mean? Yes, another danger of coming out here to Kenya is addiction. So if you like drinking, you're going to be drinking probably more than you could ever imagine out here, because it's a party every single day and it's like 24/7. You know what I'm saying? The Kenyans love to party. They love to drink and they will outdrink you. Don't think you can outdrink a Kenyan, because it's not possible. They drink and they drink and they party hard. I'm telling you. So that's going to be definitely a dangerous situation if you don't know how to manage, you know what I'm saying, your vices or whatever it is. Yeah, just, you can get into the partying scene, you can get into, you know, the drug scene, whatever it is, like that you do in America, you do in Canada, you do in Europe, it's out here as well, and it's out here like 10 times. You get what I'm saying? 10 times the extreme, 10 times the fun, 10 times everything out here. So that's coming in at number 5. All right, now moving on to number 6, we have be aware of home invasions. And what I mean by home invasions, so you have people who like to stay in either hostels or cheap accommodations, you know, like places I would say wouldn't be as, you know, equipped for Western, just people, you know, you coming from the West, oh, I got this, I got electricity, I got, you know, TV, I got all of these things, right? Now, some people are cool with just the minimum, which is fine, but also a lot of the times, the places that you go where it's like, all right, you just have maybe like a bed and no TV, no electricity, no Wi-Fi, all this stuff, it's more crime ridden. It's, you know, the people just around are more so, let me just put it like this, you're more receptive to getting your home invaded and getting all your stuff taken. And that's the same thing to say for instance, you're getting an Airbnb that's like $100 or $200 a month, right? Now, it's definitely possible to get it in a good area like Kilimani, Westlands, Kilauea, whatever, Lavington, Karen. But at the same time, you're really going to either have like something like a studio or just this real like club space. So if you're looking for a bigger space for like $100, $200, they do have places that may be in, you know, the outskirts or whatever, and you might be able to, you know what I'm saying, get it. But the thing with that, like I've been telling you guys, home invasion is definitely a thing out here. and just be safe when you're coming out here. That's all I can say. Like, make sure, spend that little extra bit of cash. Spend that little extra bit of cash. You know what I'm saying? Get a spot out here, Killatio, Killamani, or hit me up personally. I got an Airbnb property. You see the Airbnb property? If you haven't seen the full tour of my Airbnb property, I'm going to actually link that below so y'all can check that out as well. And yeah, if you coming out here and you know you want somewhere to stay, then yeah, just hit me up, man. You know, I got a nice area, nice views, a great community, you know, Uber's always outside for transportation. You know, it's never a hassle. You can walk at night. You don't have to worry about people hassling you, getting robbed, getting stabbed, all of that stuff. This is a great area that I'm in. So make sure y'all hit me up. All right, so moving on to number 7, we have the company that you keep. Now, be aware of the company that you keep here in Kenya because not everybody's your friend. And what I mean by that is, just like it goes back to the kidnapping and all of that stuff, you just never know who you're, you know, getting familiar with and who you're hanging out with. Some of these people may seem cool and calm, collected, all that stuff, or they might seem fun, they might seem lit, all this stuff at first. But it can also be a switch. You get what I'm saying? So just be very careful on the company that you keep because there is definitely stories out there and stories out here, you know, where you trust people too much and they just put you in bad situations. Maybe they get you drunk, maybe they drug you and you just get put in a wild position. So I say definitely be vigilant. Just be very vigilant and just be mindful that, okay, maybe you just met this person on vacation. You don't really know this person. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool to have fun, turn up. And if you're doing solo travel like I do, I tend to kind of just stick to the people that I've become familiar with, you know, over time and then go about it that way. And also, like, if you're out here at the same time I'm out here, hit me up. You know, I'm always down to hang out, you know what I'm saying, with either the subscribers or the followers of, you know, my channel. So, yeah, man, you know, and I'm a cool person. I'm gonna put it like that. I ain't finna do you dirty. I am not finna do you dirty. So coming in at number 8, we have the street food. Now, I'm not saying all the street food in Nairobi, Mombasa is bad, but some may not be prepared well. You know, sometimes the meat could be either rotten or spoiled, and they'll still cook it just because, you know, they're trying to make ends meet. So definitely be careful when eating the street food because I'm telling you, a lot of times you can get, you know, illness is sick. You can get food poisoning, you know. It just depends. I say just stick to, you know, Uber Eats, stick to some of the restaurants, stuff like that. And maybe, you know, if you can get a little mom and pop shop that serves food, maybe that'll be okay. But you do have those that have like the little barbecues, the little samosas that be outside, the smokies that be outside. You know, it's a lot of different stuff out here in Kenya when it comes to the street food. Even like the eggs and the potatoes and all that stuff. Like you'll even see them carrying it around in like these little containers and stuff. You know, but you just never know how they prepared it. Like when they went home, if the home is sanitary, if you know what I'm saying, you don't know. You just never know, right? So definitely be aware when it comes to eating the street food out here in Kenya. So coming in at number 9, something that you should be aware of when coming out here to Kenya is the wild animals. Now, I'm not necessarily saying the lions, you know, the tigers, the elephants, the giraffes. I'm not talking about necessarily any of those type of animals. What I'm speaking on is the dogs. Right? Now, there's a lot of stray dogs just running around, and yeah, they might look cute, whatever. You might want to, you know, just go pat them or rub them or whatever it is. But 9 times out of 10, some of these dogs may have rabies. Some of these dogs may have, you know, just some things that you don't want to get. You get what I'm saying? So just be aware of that as well, because I'm telling you, no matter where you go, you'll just see random dogs just running around. You also see goats. You also see, you know what I'm saying, cattle. Like you see cows. You see basically a lot of different animals just freely roaming around here in Nairobi, Kenya. So just, you know what I'm saying, just go about your day. Don't too much worry about, oh, let me try to pet this animal, or let me try to save this animal or anything like that, because I'm telling you, you might wake up with something that you did not plan for. And the 10th and final thing that you should be aware of here in Kenya is the mosquitoes. Yes, the mosquitoes out here are crazy. They are insane, and they also can carry malaria. Now, personally, if you guys, I don't even know if you guys can see this, but I've been getting tore up by mosquitoes since I've been out here. Like, this is probably, I've been here 3 times, right? But this is the first time that I've actually been getting, like, bit up by mosquitoes. You could get your malaria pills and stuff from, you know, Passport Health, wherever, before you come out this way. So you should be good when it comes to that. But I'm telling you, the mosquitoes, they do not let up. And these mosquitoes are different, yo. Like, they're everywhere. And I'm talking about even in cold weather. I'm thinking I'm good wearing shorts and, you know, sandals and all that stuff when it's cold. And guess what? I wake up with all these mosquito bites. I even got them on my legs, my toes. You know what I'm saying? Just everywhere right now. So I'm talking from experience, y'all. The mosquitoes do not play. So yeah, I'm gonna just leave it off right there. So that was 10 dangers of Kenya that you guys should be aware of before coming out here. Now, Kenya is an amazing place. I will always say that. I love the people in Kenya. I love the environment in Kenya. I love the vibe of Kenya. I just love Kenya all the way overall. So I would never, you know what I'm saying, say anything bad or too bad about Kenya. But I just would be lying if I didn't say that there are certain things that you should be aware of before coming out here. But it's your man Sham. This is Sham Goes Global. I appreciate you guys for watching all the way to the end. Make sure you like, comment, and definitely hit that subscribe button. Got way more dope videos out here in Kenya coming soon. So stay tuned for that. And you already know. Until the next one. And also, wait a minute. Before I say I see y'all, because I was going to say I see y'all. I'm going to see y'all right here on one of these videos. And now we out. Let's go.